Hey everybody, this is Steve Moore, owner of Run More, a fabulous brick and mortar running shop located in Westminster, Maryland. Today we're out here talking about the new Mizuno Inspire 20. Just a quick note, these shoes weren't given to us by Mizuno, they haven't asked for our opinion, and honestly, these are just our own thoughts and opinions on this wonderful new shoe. The Inspire 20 is a stability shoe from Mizuno, and you know, we've been carrying the Inspire since we opened back in 2014. In the last 2 generations of this, we've seen some nice additions and some nice changes to the shoe. I think for us, the biggest change has been the fit. Mizuno's always sort of had that preconceived notion of being sort of a short and narrow shoe, and they've really been trying to buck that trend that people have coming in of, you know, I need to go ahead and size up, or let me go to a wide shoe. And slipping this guy on, I actually was so pleasantly surprised at how well it fit my foot. I'm gonna go ahead and say I do have a big fat foot, so I almost always on Mizuno shoes have to go to a wide. This was a standard at 11.5 for me, and it fit plenty long and plenty wide. I was so happy with how it fit on my foot. I also could tell right away that it had that nice stability to it. I mentioned a minute ago that it has the Mizuno wave plate technology, and if you're not familiar with it, you can see it right here in the midsole. It has this little piece of plastic that runs through it that has some support along the arch and designed, like you guessed it, a wave. Designed to kind of help carry you from heel to toe smoothly while still giving you that stability while you're running and walking into it. So you put it on and it's got a high cushion, fits well, and it has the stability to it. I think one of the things too that really surprised me with this shoe was just the overall level of comfort that it had. Not to knock some of the old Mizuno shoes, but like there was something about a shoe that had that high drop and the stability that this shoe had, that not that it wasn't comfortable, not that it wasn't cushioned, but you felt like secure and strong and stable in it, but sometimes that didn't necessarily mean that it felt all that comfortable. You know, we sometimes have to talk to our customers about like having a shoe that's overly comfortable is great, but if you're having a lot of pronation issues or some health issues, some plantar fasciitis, sometimes overly cushioning might not be the thing you need. Sometimes you want to have a shoe that sort of has like a feel of a custom orthotic that's integrated into the regular cushion of a shoe to give you that feeling of stability. This has that best of both worlds where you slip it in and you're like, this is a nice high cushion shoe, especially because it's a mid cushion shoe, but it fits and feels like a high cushion shoe, but it still has the stability of the plate. And it really is a nice option for people, whether you need the stability or not. I'm somebody who doesn't overpronate this way. I supinate. I roll to the outside of my foot, and this has a little bit of stability outside of the foot. I actually popped it on against a Wave Rider, which is the neutral companion shoe to this. And the Rider's a great shoe. I prefer this much more, and not just because it has the outside stability to it. I actually felt like the cushion level was better on this, even though in theory I should feel softer and more cushion in the Rider because it doesn't have that same firmness and the stability. I felt like I had a little bit more on this shoe. This has a 12mm drop to it, and we've been seeing a lot of shoes that are now starting to get a little bit lower, and I don't want to tip my hand too much, but I've seen up to through 2024 and even into 2025 models from some of my brands, and we're seeing brands that are traditionally having a higher drop that are starting to drift back down. That to me has been one of the biggest changes in our industry over the last couple of years. We're seeing drops that used to be in that 10-12 range that are now starting to dip down to 6, 8, 10. This is still a 12mm drop shoe, and there are plenty of people out there that aren't that keen on seeing the heel drops on shoes. So if you're somebody who still feels and prefers something with a higher drop, this is gonna be your ticket. People that have maybe like Achilles issues, you know, that you just wanna feel like you're more raised this way. Maybe not necessarily because you feel that big like transition when you're running on the drop, but just more to me, some people just more for health reasons prefer a high drop shoe, or just maybe if you're old school. So that still rings tried and true with this, but that step in feel doesn't make it feel as apparent. And I think when it felt more stiff, you could feel that drop more. It was more like immediate when you stepped into it. It has the drop, but it has the cushion, and it's not so in your face feeling like it has that 12mm drop. So if you're somebody who's been on the fence between like an 8 drop and a 10 drop, this is a 12, but it might not feel like a 12 drop. I hope that kind of makes sense to you. The upper on this material is nice too, because it's not so confining. And I think, again, they're trying to give this a better fit and feel than it used to be. speaking to people from Mizuno, you know, this is a Japanese brand, and I think that this shoe was sort of cut and fit for like a smaller foot. And I think they're really trying to buck that trend and give people more of like an everyday trainer feel, and to compete against a lot of the other brands out there that are going wider, that are going longer, and like they've really done a better job of nailing this. And even like I'm having to sort of retrain staff at the store that are so accustomed, if they're fitting somebody that's even on a pinch on the wide side of like, ooh, I'm not gonna be able to pull a Mizuno shoe because it's just not gonna fit their foot well. But like, that's all out the window now. So you should feel good about getting your true size on this and not having to make like a Mizuno adjustment on it. It's a mid-cushion shoe, but honestly, it feels so cushy underfoot. Like this can be your mile to marathon shoe. There's no reason why you couldn't do long miles on this shoe. Even though it has like a higher companion cushion shoe to it, the Horizon, you should feel fine in this shoe doing like a nice long run, but it is light enough at less than 11 ounces to do some snappier workouts in it. And you know, that's one thing I've always felt with Mizuno is like, when I want to turn it, I can still turn it in this shoe, even though like it might not be like a super fast-paced racy shoe, and they have much more light shoes in their category of their collection of stuff from Mizuno. This shoe has plenty of snap, and it's light enough and it can feel nice and fast that you can do some faster stuff in it if and that you want to. I will say at our store, both the Inspire and the Horizon, we have just as many people use it as a walking shoe than a running shoe. So if you're somebody who's not necessarily going to go out there and run a marathon in it, but you just need like a good, comfortable everyday shoe that's going to give you the stability for any pronation issues that you have, or Achilles issues that you may have, this is going to be a great everyday walker. And I think you're going to be really happy when you just slip it on. Again, they really, that cushion and comfort at the fitting station that everybody's going after, I really think they nailed it with this shoe. So the Inspire, it's out in January of 2024. We're super excited. We have it available on our website now. If you're interested in purchasing this fine product, head on down over there to, we have a link down below in the description. And if you enter promo code RUNMORE, that's just one word, RUNMOORE, you'll save 10% on your order and we'll ship it out for free. I hope this video was fun and exciting and helpful for you. If it was, do me a solid, give us a like and subscribe. And if you're in the greater Westminster, Maryland area, stop on by our shop and say hello. There's a good chance you'll catch me while I'm there. Happy running, and I hope to see you around Westminster. Thanks.